Afternoon.
I'm off. I was in there talking, so I lost track of what the time was. Good to see everybody. Last preseason game, hopefully it's better than the last one we just played from a defensive perspective. And I think our guys are ready to kind of put it together and play a little bit better. I hope that's the case. So with that, I'll just kind of open it up.
What were your biggest takeaways from?
Yeah, I didn't like the way we played the run. I'll tell you the biggest takeaway was, and I'm going to give Mike McDonald and his staff up there a lot of credit. It just felt like they came out with the intent to prove to the Kansas City Chiefs, and they did. They were coming out of the huddle fast. They were running it right at us. I'm just not sure we were ready for that, and shame on us, but I think our guys will be ready to play good football this week.
I'm sure you can pinpoint to a lot of things when you say that, but what stood out specifically about them?
Yeah, listen, Joe, myself, Brendan, talk about it all the time. I mean, run defense begins in the middle, tackles, linebackers, and then it works its way out. And there were some things inside that weren't what we had normally done or how we had normally played. Now, listen, we all recognize we didn't have everybody out there. But like I said to them in the meeting right after the game, listen, Chris can't play every play because, we rotate guys. What happens if this guy gets nicked and that guy gets nicked, and all of a sudden that's what we're playing with, and those guys are expected to stand up and play better than we did. So really from the inside, I began there, and then on the perimeter, the tackling wasn't nearly what we're used to. I think our secondary tackles as good as anybody or has. They didn't in that game. So everybody's kind of on high alert, and hopefully that gets straightened out.
With the loss of Felix Anudike-Uzomah, how does the end of that rotation, maybe on the defensive line, and the evaluation of who you might keep now?
Yeah. Well, it hurts to lose anybody, and certainly Felix we were counting on in certain ways, right, in certain roles. We'll see who steps up and takes that role. I mean, it'll become numbers. I mean, Brett does a great job with that, him and Coach Reid. Some years I know we've kept 5 ends, and then it's 4, and then maybe I think sometimes we kept 6, but might be 1 less tackle or 1 less linebacker. So when it gets down to the end there, it'll be who's the best 53 or however that works out. But, in Felix's case, the next D ends there. Malik's got an opportunity to jump up in there, and we've got, Ashton's been playing good football, so we'll see how it pans out.
You talked a lot about Nick Bolton's importance this offseason. Just back to that first quarter, in an inverse way, does that show you almost how important Nick is?
That's a pretty good point. I hadn't thought of it that. Although I will say this, Jack Cochran does as good a job, from the mental standpoint. Jack's really good too. Now Jack got, he's hurt now, but he got dinged in the game early and kind of fought through that, and I think it affected him a little bit in the way we played. But yeah, Nick's the glue. But I don't want to take anything away from Jack Cochran because we rely on Jack as a fill-in guy. I just don't think, I'm not sure I prepared him the right way for that particular offense, what they do with the wide zone scheme and all the cutback and the swaps and all that. And that's partly my fault too.
What do you expect out of your guys Friday?
I'm really hoping that we come out, with a purpose, early on. I think Andy has stated that our guys are going to play a little bit. I don't know how far that'll go. But for as long as we got the so-called guys out there that we're going to roll with in a couple of weeks, I think we need to step up and show that we're better than what we were last week. I think the guys will do that. That'll be the intent. We'll see what happens. It's good offense we're playing. I mean, that quarterback's really good. The offensive coordinator, head coach, does a really good job scheme-wise. I'm sure, like everybody that comes in here, it doesn't matter whether it's regular season or preseason, you play the Chiefs, they're all jacked up. So we're going to get there. We're going to get a good shot from them.
It seems like hasn't been luck as far as things in the defensive back room. 3 weeks out of the regular season, you feel you guys will be okay defensive back-wise just with availability?
Well, I mean, the unknown is Christian right now because we haven't had him out there. And, Jalen's missed some time. And now we got NJ that's a little bit dinged up. It's kind of been, more than any group on the defense, that back end has to have a lot of continuity, and that comes with reps. And so with a couple of different moving pieces, there's a little bit of concern there. So hopefully we can start to gel that together.
Couple more. How do you feel like Josh Williams fits into that? Because Josh just seems like he's been maybe a bit of a man left out.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Josh has played really, really well. We chart production and training camp, pass breakups, interceptions, forced fumbles, and Josh was right up there with a group of them. So to his credit, he has produced. He's going to get he's going to get an opportunity now with NJ kind of dinged up here, and we'll see if that transpires. But the one thing, Josh always gives us is speed and length out on the edge. He's always given us that.
Last one.
We
Nice
got no,
coach.
we got no last one.
Too
Appreciate
much,
it.
you gave him too much info.